couple examples of classifying triangles. In number 8, if we're going to classify a triangle by its sides, we're talking about either a scalene, isosceles, or equilateral. And then if we classify it by its angle, we're talking about an acute, or right, or obtuse, or equal angular. Okay, so let's talk about the sides first of all. I've got those 2 tick marks showing me that 2 of the sides are the same. And that means it's an isosceles triangle, because in an isosceles triangle at least 2 congruent sides are part of that triangle. And then if I classify it by its angles, I can see that one of the angles is right, so this makes it a right angle as well. So we would call this a right isosceles triangle. Moving on to number 9 here, you see that 3 different sides are marked congruent. That's the definition of an equilateral triangle, where all 3 sides are congruent. So that's how we would classify it by its sides. Now, because those sides are all the same, we also know, even though it's not marked, that all the angles have to be the same as well. So not only is this equilateral in terms of sides, but it's also equiangular in terms of angles. And then moving on to this one as well, if I'm trying to classify this by its sides, there's nothing indicating that any of the sides are congruent. So therefore, at least based on the information given, I would consider this to be a scalene triangle, because I don't know of any congruent sides. And just looking at the angles, again, nothing's really marked this way, so the diagram could be wrong. But it looks like we've got over here an acute angle by J, an acute angle by H, but it looks like K is an obtuse angle. So therefore, we would call this an obtuse angle. This would be an obtuse scalene triangle.